person I want to introduce to you is Elisa Covington. I met her probably 7 years ago. Is that how long your journey was? We met a long time ago.
5 years.
Yeah, okay, 5 years ago. And she was, I think you were starting your business, and I was also looking into real estate investing. So that's where we met at an event. And today, what she does is amazing. So I can't steal her thunder. 7-figure flipper and 50,000 subscriber YouTuber. So come on up, Elisa.
Hey everyone, my name is Elisa and I've been flipping houses for 5 years now and I've done about 40 flips. So today I want to be here to share a little bit about my journey and also, more importantly, I want to show you how you can earn more commission by working with me. So I came from a corporate background. When I was doing my full-time corporate job, I was so not motivated and I really wanted to get out of the rat race. And for a while, I was looking for the next step and then I found real estate. I think a lot of you guys probably can relate. Real estate is really amazing. So I started investing on the side while still doing a full-time job. So I started by purchasing my first home in San Francisco's South of Market, and I was doing house hacking by renting out the spare bedroom and bathroom. And then after a couple of years, the value of my home appreciated a lot. So I used a home equity line of credit to purchase my first rental property, a small condo in the South Beach. And my then boyfriend, now husband, helped me remodel the place all by ourselves. We did it DIY and it took us 2 months to remodel a 500 square feet condo. And we were so tired because we still were doing our full-time jobs and we went to the place every weekend and put in a lot of work. That was kind of a mistake. Now I know that don't do construction yourself, rely on professionals. And I actually furnished the place and rented it out as a high-end furnished rental, and I managed it myself. Again, that was a mistake because now I know that it's probably better to rely on a property manager to manage the place instead of doing all the work myself. And from there, I started watching HGTV. I don't know if any of you guys are HGTV fans, but it kind of flipped a switch in my mind because when I was watching HGTV, I was like, oh wait, this is what I've been doing with my home and my rental property. I remodeled them and resold them after some time. And I didn't know that it could be a business. So that was a light bulb moment for me. And the theme of this meeting is my first million in real estate. So let's talk about that. I started flipping houses in 2017 while working a full-time job. And I did 2 projects that year. I made a 6-figure income from the profits of flipping houses. And then I wanted to quit all year, but couldn't pull the trigger. I didn't have the gut to do it. And then at the end of the year, I was actually laid off from my job, which was one of the best things that ever happened to me. I needed that push. So I started doing it full-time in 2018, and I made $500,000 that year, first year doing it full-time. And then starting in 2019, my second year doing it full-time, my 3rd year in the business, I started making a 7-figure profit income. And it's 2019, 2020, 2021 was actually my best year, and I was able to make it a multiple 7-figure. But this is not the best part. The best part is I'm going to show you how you can 5 times your commission by working with me. So let's get to that. How does it benefit you as an agent to work with a house flipper? You guys are probably familiar, if you talked to any house flippers before, you probably know that it's pretty standard. If you work with a house flipper, you bring a deal to me, for example, then you get to make the selling side or the buying side commission by representing me as a buyer. And then after I remodel the home, I will resell the house with you again. So you make at least double commission. This is very standard. It's nothing interesting, so I'm not going to talk that much about that. I offer a bonus commission system, which we start the commission at 5%. So when I purchase a home, I determine the resale value of the home, the ARV after repair value. And from the ARV, if the house ends up selling for more than the ARV, I offer a bonus commission to the agent who sells the home. Because the housing market has been going up for quite some time, it's been really hot, many of the agents who have worked with me recently were able to earn a 5 to 6% commission just for relisting the house, not including the buyer's agent's commission. And I'm going to show you some case studies to tell you exactly what the numbers are. And on top of that, when you work with a house flipper, you get to solve the seller's problems. A lot of times the seller is a senior citizen and they don't want to put any work into the house. They don't want to, they want a rent back sometimes. So they can use the sale proceeds from the sale of this home to find their next home while still living in the home and move out slowly. And there's divorce situations where sometimes the court order the couple to move out of the home very quickly. And there's also inheritance is a big one, especially when there are multiple heirs. I've done a deal in Santa Clara, right by the Apple campus, the new spaceship. And the property was inherited by 6 heirs. One of them was actually a developer. So when I was working on the lead, I was like, oh, the chance is very slim for me to get it because the developer probably wants to take over and develop on the land. But it turned out that he wanted nothing to do with it because he was running the numbers in his mind. If he takes it over and do all the work, put in all the money, he has to split the profit 6 ways. Didn't make any sense to him. So the house actually came to me. I was able to get it as a deal. So there are a lot of issues that the sellers may have, like if they want to get cash quickly. Usually I make an all cash offer that can close in 7 days, so that can solve their problems. And we sometimes offer a free rent back, so they can use the sale proceeds to make their next move. And if they have a lot of stuff, like a hoarder situation, I can take over anything that they choose to leave behind on the property. One time, someone even left me a trailer. So the trailer had parked on in the front yard for probably 40 years, never moved. And 2 trees were growing around the trailer. And we had to cut the trees before we could remove the trailer. And that's kind of an extreme, but I'm really willing to work creatively with the sellers to solve their problems and make my offer appealing to them. Next slide, please. So I'm going to give you some case studies. This one was sold recently. I purchased it for $1.2 million. And when I bought it, I thought the after repair value would be $1.65. So that's where the 5% commission started. And I ended up holding it for 4.5 months because we had to remove a pool from the backyard. And the permit took a long time to get approved. And by the time we were ready to put it on the market, we figured out that the house is definitely going to sell for more than 1.65. So that's where the bonus commission starts to kick in. And we ended up selling it for $2 million. I made a $400,000 profit from the deal, and the agent on the buy side, she made $30,000. That's 2.5% to represent me as a buyer. And then on the sell side, she actually made a 6% commission because she reached such a high sale price that I couldn't even believe it. And the total commission she was able to make was $150,000, so that's 5 times the commission if she were to only represent a buyer, a regular home buyer. Next slide, please. I'm going to go through these before and after photos quickly. So you can see that when I purchased the house, the front yard was a mess. It had a lot of trash, and the home was, I believe someone was living there, but he was a senior and he was not able to keep up with the maintenance. So the home was really run down, and we made it a lot better. Next slide, please. In the living room, he left a lot of stuff in there. There was a baby grand piano, and we made it all fresh and new with new paint, new flooring, and new recess lights to really brighten up the place and make it more inviting. Next slide, please. The kitchen was the most gross part. There was, I don't know what was that, the stuff on the linoleum floor that was sticky and stinky. So we had to gut everything and also open up between the kitchen and the dining room to give it a little bit open concept. Next slide, please. So this was the bathroom. I didn't want to step into the bathroom. And we, again, completely got everything and put in all new fixtures and finishes. Next slide, please. This was the master bedroom. It was very dark because a lot of the windows were covered up in the home, and it was actually not a lot of work. We just put in some new flooring, new ceiling lights, new windows, and it was a very nice transformation. Next slide, please. So this was the pool that I was talking about. There was no way to there is a way to refinish it, but it would cost a lot of money, probably $30,000, $40,000. And we chose to fill it in and put in sod because pool is a lot of maintenance and many buyers don't want to have to deal with it. Next slide, please. So this is another case study, a project I did in San Francisco. This home is the longest project I've ever held on to. It took over 2 years because the permitting process in San Francisco took so long, and we were very unlucky to have been hit by the pandemic when the city closed out and they were not doing any permit approvals for months. So it took 1.5 years for us to get the permits, but the renovation also took more than 6 months. I purchased it for $1.4 million and put in about $400,000 into the project, and we ended up selling for $2.675. The net profit looked big, but then if you calculate the annualized return, it's actually slimmer than most of my other projects. The agent commission here on the buy side was $35,000, and on the sell side, because the sale price, again, well exceeded my expectations, was $120,000. So it was another 5 times the commission, the buy side commission. Next slide, please. So these are the before and after photos. We had to do a new driveway and took out some planter boxes. This was a care home. So it had 8 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms originally, and all the rooms were super small. So I knew that we could not keep the original floor plan and sell at a good price. We had to completely revamp the layout. Next slide, please. So this was the original living room. We took out, there was actually a stairway between the living room and the kitchen. we took it out and relocated it to the more centralized location in the home, and put in all new hardwood floors, new tiles on the fireplace, new windows. Next slide, please. And this was one of the bathrooms. You probably can't really tell that these are the bathrooms in the same house because we had to relocate all the fixtures to make the bathrooms functional and to allow for a big master bathroom. This house in the master bedroom, because there was no master bedroom in the home originally, there was only a half bath. So we had to borrow space from this guest bathroom to make this master bathroom big and luxurious. We put in a double vanity and also a big his and hers shower, which is not in the picture, but it really added value to the home. Next slide, please. So this was, again, another guest bathroom where we made the layout a lot more functional. Next slide, please. So this was kind of the master bedroom, which was very small. We had to open up a wall between this bedroom and the bedroom next to it to make this big master suite. Next slide, please. This was the original bedroom with 2 beds in there, and we made it a family room so the slider could walk out to the backyard. Next slide, please. And we put in, after we relocated the staircase, we put in glass railings because that's appealing to buyers in San Francisco. The taste, buyers' taste, is very different from buyers in the South Bay where a modern farmhouse kitchen, everybody likes the shaker cabinets, but in San Francisco, buyers like kind of a European style flat panel cabinets and glass railings. The glass railings cost $25,000 and it took many, many months to arrive. Okay, we're running out of time. I think we can take some questions. Yeah. Sure.
I'm sure a lot of agents would love to work with you, so what are you really looking for in an agent that you would love to work with?
I don't really have any criteria. The main thing is if you have a deal for me, then I'm more than happy to work with you.
What is the after repair value, the percentage that you will be looking for when you see the deal? 70% of the ERV or 80% of the...
I don't really use, we were actually talking about it earlier, I don't use a blanket percentage because for a $500,000 home versus a $2 million home, the percentage cannot be the same. So to give you an idea, usually if I purchase a house for around $1 million, the house probably needs to sell for $1.4 million for the numbers to work. If it's a full-on remodel. If it's a over $2 million home, around $2 million, then the delta will have to be $500,000 or more. Can you go to the last slide, actually?
I was just going to ask what
Sure.
the geographic area is that you're willing to go to.
I do business anywhere, pretty much anywhere on the peninsula in the South Bay, from San Francisco to San Jose.
How fast can you close the deal?
In 7 days. Yeah. So I do have a YouTube channel, as Garrett mentioned, is Transform Real Estate. I share before and after videos and home remodeling tips and tricks. And you can also follow me on Instagram, and if you have a deal, you can send me an email.
So we shouldn't share our clients your information because I don't want them to fix it up themselves, right?
Well, if they really have the money to fix it themselves, they probably will do it with or without my information. So I don't think that's preventing them from.
How did you find a contractor to work with?
I actually have a YouTube video where I share how you can find a good contractor. There are a lot of things to look for and go from referrals. If you don't have any referrals, you can also interview a lot of contractors, bring them to a project, bring them to a client's home. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Elisa.